This is a true story because I have had the opportunity to witness it from the beginning to the end. Because this happened to my mother, not a stranger. One morning, my father made breakfast for the whole family to eat because my mother was not feeling well. When my mother came out of the bedroom, her face was very haggard and worn out. I was worried, so I asked my mother what was wrong. My mother also made no secret. She said that she had a terrible nightmare in which a person appeared, someone my mother didn't want to talk about, a man who died many years ago. This person was my Uncle Lou, who died of liver disease a few years ago. My mother dreamed of him. Subconsciously, she wondered why he was not dead, what he came to see her for. My uncle also said that he was not dead. He was currently locked in a coffin so he could not go out, and told my mother to quickly ask my father to come and remove the coffin. Then my uncle said that he was just playing dead. That day, after waking up, he found himself locked in a coffin. He used all 10 fingers to scratch and scream, but no one listened and he could not get out. Then he held out 10 fingers to show my mother the pain he had to endure. He screamed in anger. His face turned into a devil, forcing my mother to go to see my aunt to release him. My mother was frightened by him and screamed loudly and sat up out of that nightmare. My uncle was a bad person when he was alive. Whenever he was drunk, he beat my aunt mercilessly, broke things, and treated his siblings very badly. So everyone in the family hated him, and my mother didn't know why she dreamed of him. After a while, she fell asleep again. Then she continued to dream of my uncle coming, and he begged her to tell my aunt to let him go. Just like that, my uncle made my mother toss and turn all night. She was unable to sleep. Dad told me to call my aunt to ask what was going on, but my mom didn't want that. She didn't want to talk to her then. Even more strange, one night when I got home from school, as soon as I entered the door, I saw my aunt sitting on the sofa of the house. This time my aunt came without telling us first, which surprised me too. At this time, the atmosphere in the house seemed quieter than usual. Everyone had a sad expression. I later found out that my aunt often dreamed of my uncle about resentment, dream, and mourning when my uncle had just died. Every time she dreamed of my uncle, he cursed her. "Damn it, you hate me so much that you bury me alive?" He even strangled, tormented, threatened to kill my aunt if she didn't let him out. My aunt almost dreamed of him coming often. She also fell into a state of depression. She couldn't take it anymore either. Tell my grandmother about this. When my grandmother saw this, she invited an exorcist using 7 peach wooden stakes to stick on my uncle's grave, sealing his soul for several years. My aunt never dreamed of my uncle since then, but she didn't expect my mother to dream of him coming back. My father was also very curious. Why didn't she open the grave to see if there was something wrong with my uncle's grave? So a few days later, my aunt and my family went back to my hometown and went to my uncle's grave to excavate the grave. Everyone proceeded to open his coffin, and everyone was anxiously waiting. The moment the coffin lid was opened, a whiff of white gas flew out of the coffin, looking very strange. And no one could imagine my uncle lying in the coffin, reaching out his hand as if scratching the lid of the coffin. The tips of his fingers were almost crushed, looking extremely painful before he died. There were also many scratches on the coffin lid. Everyone could understand how helpless and desperate he was, which meant my uncle could have been buried alive when he was just drunk and unconscious. And when he awoke, he tried to find a way out of the coffin. Finally, my uncle was buried again. My mother had not dreamed of my uncle since then. Only my aunt sometimes dreams of him with great regret.